Roman gitu. Tentang itu apa itu.
So we have more participants now. So, Dennis, please tell if we can start.
Yes, let us start. We will record the session anyway, and then if someone has missed the start, we will share the link afterwards, not a problem.
Okay, so I will share with you the file again. It's the same one, just for new participants. It's the material about the standoff. You can just scroll it or just look into details just after our guided tour. And for now, we are ready to start. First of all, welcome to the standoff, and I'm really happy to see you all here. And today we will have less than 1 hour session to show you the most impressive and dynamic parts of our cyber battle. And I would like to introduce you my colleagues who will help to show you everything interesting from our cyber battle. So at the beginning, I will have a short introduction, just a few slides. And after me, we will have a live connection from the city with Roman. Roman, are you here?
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. And Roman will also help us to show you some insights from Security Operations Center. And after him, we will have a session with our Security Operations Center engineer, Oleg. Oleg, are you here?
Yeah.
Cool. So Oleg will show you some insights of detection the hackers' attacks. And if you have any question, you can just type it down into their chat, or you can just use your microphone, turn it on, and just ask it to us every time you want. So let's start. I will start with a short introduction about the standoff. So it's a global cybersecurity event. Last year we held it in Abu Dhabi, and this year we moved into online. So it's even broadened our horizons, because right now we can show it everything to you too. So the main idea of the standoff is a cyber battle. The cyber battle is between the blue teams, their defenders, and the offensive part, red teams. So they competing in controlling of IT infrastructure of a real smart city. Let's talk a little bit more about red and blue teams. So the aim of blue teams is to report security incidents and to investigate them. As for red teams, they don't have to bring flags as they usually do at CTFs. Here they have to find real vulnerabilities in IT systems and also trigger different business risks in order to see what damage can happen if they implement their attacks. Why we do that? Just few points. First of all, here we can have a stress test of real systems that can influence on people's lives. The second point is that here at the standoff, we can see what would happen if hackers will implement their attacks and just come to the end. So in comparison with penetration testing, hackers have no limits here, because as pen testers, they have to stop at some age in order not to go to jail or not to just bring huge damage to a company. And on the other side, blue teams can just harden their defensive skills, because here they encounter with the best hacker teams, professional hacker teams. So they have to be very attentive here. And the last point, but the most important one, is that here we try to show that the cybersecurity is not about buying just another cybersecurity tool. It's about strategy. So we have to build our cybersecurity systems on a knowledge of potential cybersecurity risks. Talking about cybersecurity risks, let me show you our platform. So just give me a moment, please. So you should see our platform, the Standoff. You can also join it anytime you want, because you just need to log in and you can see everything as I can now. So let's have a look at the battlefield, the most interesting part of it. So here we have certain objects which are targets of hackers and which are tried to be defended by our blue teams. So if you see red borders, it means that they were already attacked. So let's have a look, for example, inside the amusement park. So we can see that we have here 5 cyber risks, which all of them were already triggered. You know, today is the last day of the competition, so it's a normal situation that our amusement park was under huge amount of attacks. So for example, hackers were able to deactivate a Ferris wheel control system and even disrupt a Ferris wheel control system. So the people who were having fun at the Ferris wheel at this moment were really under stress or even injured. So it could be a disaster in real life. I would like to add here that here you can also see the timeline. So when happened or when investigation started and etc. So you can see everything just by yourself. And I will show you just another page. It's a scoreboard. So you can see the list of an attacker teams. There are 29 of them. And the list of defenders teams. There are 6 of them. So attackers get points for triggering business risks and for finding real vulnerabilities in IT systems. Here I would like to stop and just to pass a word to my colleague, to Roman, because he will show you more he will tell you more about infrastructure, and what's more, he will show us the physical model of the city. Roman?
Yeah, thank you, Nat. Thank you. Yeah, guys, we are literally in the center of the cyber battle at the moment. We are at the heart of the standoff, and the standoff itself consists of 2 main parts. The first one is a virtual infrastructure where all the corporate system resides, like emailing systems, ERPs, office computers, whatever you can see in the real light. And the second part of the standoff is the physical part. And the physical part is represented by such a huge and beautiful model, Mock City, which we created and built upon the real hardware and the SCADA system, industrial control system that's used in a daily life. So let's have a quick tour around that Mock City to understand what kind of objects are marked there. Yeah, it's a little bit crowded. It's a final day of the battle and it's a bit noisy as well. Sorry for that, but it's a live report, so it's not like a video pre-recorded. So, for example, let's have a quick run around that Mock City. We've got 16 objects right there implemented, and we've got 50 different business risks covers which are corresponded to all these objects. Like, for example, this one, it's an oil field and oil storage on the back. We've got a train system across the city which works. And as I said again, it's built, all that Mock City built completely on the real hardware, real SCADA systems. Next one, let me squeeze. Yeah.
Who are vendors of these SCADA systems?
A lot of them. Actually, each object is controlled by its own system, its own PLC type, its own SCADA system. We use a completely we use as many systems as we can. So we've got a lot of vendors list, a huge vendors list here, like Schneider Electric, Moxa, Siemens, Mitsubishi Electric, Schneider, B&R, Allen Bradley, Rockwell. So I will show you in a couple of seconds. So this is oil refinery object. So you see, it's like it's working now, but actually it's been hacked last night. Here we have the seaport with a fully operated crane.
Looks nice.
So hackers, potentially hackers could break into each of these objects and make a lot of harm. So gas pumping station.
Roman, were there already any disasters? Have you seen any of them? How it looks like?
A lot of them. City, actually, let me finish my tour.
Sorry.
Power plant, airport. So the first thing that has been hacked is the airport online ticketing system. So the people were not able to check into the flights and buy tickets actually. Other type of disasters that recently happened were related to these oil refinery. Actually, a lot of teams, offensive teams, were able to hack this. And what they did, they actually, you see on this technological mimic, such a cooling unit, and offensive teams were able to, sorry. Oops.
Bless you.
Someone, have a good help. So we've got a cooling unit here, and offensive teams were able to close that valve, and the cooling stopped, and eventually the whole refinery comes to a critical situation, and emergency valves were opened, and acid pollution happened. So actually, the whole city should be evacuated in this situation. But you remember that the online registration and ticketing system in a report were hacked as well. So no one actually could have a chance to leave the city. So the other type of the bad thing happened actually in the midnight last night. It was with storage, oil storage here, right on right back on the oil fields and oil production. And there are two separate teams of offensive teams. They were able to, one of them hijacked the sensor data, and they achieved the overflow of the barrel with oil. And other team, offensive team, were able to mess up with these valves and achieve the critical situation. Then the oil actually spilled out. So you see here an oil spill that happened right last night. So a lot of the things happen. Actually, it's the final day of the battle, and the most, let's say, dangerous and funny at the same time for us. Funny for sure, because it's a virtual infrastructure, was related to this amusement park and that big wheel, which is also controlled by the industrial control system, and the hackers were able to hack that, and they speeded up the wheel, and it's literally moved to the out of its axis and gone to the forest. So it was really dangerous situation. And as I said, a lot of the vendors and hardware we use, open source SCADA, commercial SCADA, like from Siemens, WinCC, factory talk from Rockwell and Allen Bradley. We use different type of PLCs right there, like that big guy is a Siemens 400, as far as Allen Bradley, Rockwell, PS.
So it looks like that, like, hackers are real professional guys, because you should know how this SCADA controls works in order to hack it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of them are professional teams. There are 30 of them, and they are they've got a huge skill set to do that, and that's why we have created such a such infrastructure with variety of PLCs, vendors, and SCADAs inside, just for these professional team to show their skills at the full power.
Cool.
So, and in comparison to any type of any other type of the CTFs, there is no flex, as you said. So the offensive team need to achieve particular business risks. We don't care about the methods and tactics they use, but they need to achieve particular business risks. So they are able, they even can go to the last mile. So in the typical penetration test or audit, the offensive team should stop at the last moment. But with the standoff, inside the standoff, they can do everything. So they even break the PLC, upload its own program, do whatever they want, do whatever they skilled to.
Yeah, cool. Roman, thank you so much for such an impressive speech. And dear colleagues, if you have any questions, just don't be shy, just type it or just use your microphone and Roman can comment on it, or just you can just write it down and we can answer it at the end of our tour.
Yeah, thank you, Nat. We are staying online, so all the questions are appreciated.
Yeah, don't switch off your camera because the picture is really great. I would love to just to watch it for a long time. So right now I will just share my screen again. And I will tell you a little bit more details about red teams and blue teams. Let me check one moment. Yeah. So here you can see some interesting information about red teams. As I already said, there are 29 of them. There are 45 business risks which can be implemented. 26 of them are already triggered. And what's more, the hackers could even find 2 new unplanned business risks. So they just broke some other systems which we were not aware about. So for example, one team hacked their ticket system at the airport, and so they got tickets for free. That would be really cool, yeah, for the citizens. And as for another task, they have to find vulnerabilities, and there are already more than 400 of them were already reported. And we know that at least one of them is a 0-day vulnerability in a commonly used web application. Yesterday at the same guided tour, one company, after hearing such information, even decided to participate at the standoff next year. And let's move to the blue teams. There are 6 of them, and they represent cybersecurity departments of large companies. For example, we have Microsoft with us, and they also represent different MSSPs. They have, as I already said, they have to monitor the infrastructure, and they have been doing that for 24 hours a day. So their total number of hours is 123. And they have to do that nonstop. So it's a really hard job. And the interesting story is that one team even was hacked by hackers and lost control over their monitoring tools. But then the situation was improved. And as for now, they already reported about 200 incidents. For monitoring, they use different, the bunch of technologies, and it's only up to them which technology to use. For example, we know that some teams use popular SIEM systems like ArcSight, IBM QRadar, Max Patrol SIEM, which is produced by Positive Technologies, and Sentinel. There are a lot of there are different vulnerability scanners, EDR systems, NTA systems. For example, we also have our product, BT Network Attack Discovery, and web application firewalls as well. For now, I would like to again pass a word to Roman, because he is now at the Positive Security Operations Center, and he is ready to tell us more details about attacks and about its detection. So Roman, are you here with us?
Yeah, thank you. Can you see my video?
Yeah, sure, just
for
a
me
moment.
to better understand what you've seen from my side.
Should be done.
Yeah, can you pin it for all of us? Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thank you. So I moved to the Security Operations Center of the Standoff, and it's quite different from the security operations centers that are created by the Defender team. The main purpose of that Security Operations Center, which made by all the organizers, by Positive Technologies, is to collect all the information from all the objects inside the infrastructure, from the industrial objects, etc. So it controls all the situation across the whole city. It collects all the security events from each particular computer, each particular PLC. So everything is controlled here, right here. So you may think about that particular security operations center of the Standoff as a sort of the nationwide or region-wide security operations center. And it's a really impressive thing that such security operations center was rolled out in a matter of days. So it was really, really fast and quickly.
Impressive.
And regarding what I need to say, right behind me, there is a nice dashboards of the products which used inside that particular security operations center, the global operations center of the Standoff. And the security operations center itself based exclusively on the products from Positive Technologies.
Which kind of technologies?
A lot of them, actually. A lot of them that are really needed inside the Security Operations Center. So it's systems for controlling traffic on the edge, the systems that are able to control traffic inside the networks, including industrial networks, also ZIM type of the system. So we've got here a Max Petrol ZIM, for example, which collects all the events from all the subsystems, security subsystems, yes.
Yeah, I can hardly see its interface, but I think that I see the number 25,960. What's the number of is that?
Yeah, yeah. That's a good number. Probably you see my screen flipped, right?
No, everything's
No, it's good. It's because I see it's flipped. But anyway, yeah, I've got. Let me find my finger. Yeah, right there we've got. Yeah, we've got cool. Such a huge number of 25,000 something, and this is the number of events coming to the Security Operations Center of the Standoff each second.
Wow.
So it's it's a lot. It's a lot actually, and it can respond to the network of around 10,000 hosts normally. Something like this. So it's quite a huge numbers, and we see at the moment that the city is under the huge attack as well. So let me.
Do we have an expert?
Speak. Yeah, we've got an expert from the Security Operations Center. Yeah, for sure. The Security Operations Center is not just the products, but also the people. Let's have a talk with Paul, who is the head of the Security Operations Center of the Standoff. Let me switch my mic. Can you help me switch in the mic, because I got only one hand free? Yeah, thank you. So the Paul, not just the expert of the Security Operations Center, not just the head, but the guy who helps to switch out the microphones as well.
Yes.
So what are the news? Major news. It's the last day of the battle.
Yeah.
So what's happened? Give us a summary.
Actually, for the past days, both the attackers and the defenders were active on every day of the standoff. We predicted at first that the main strike will be today or yesterday, but our predictions were not quite precise. Yes, every day there's a lot happening. The flow of the security events um, in its medium is about 25,000 events per second, and in its peak it reached about 60,000 events per second.
Wow, that's great. I see numbers like 50 maybe
Yeah.
last day. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So what is your task of the Security Operations Center? What is your main task?
The main task of our security operation center is to maintain the helicopter view of what's going on the stage, what business risk are being successfully reached by the attacking teams, to monitor, to watch through the actions that the defenders are making to respond to the attackers' actions. And also, we are one of the three heads of the jury dragon.
Wow, you're judging the competition itself. So, and how the judging is going on. So, how you score the teams?
Both the red teams and blue teams sent us their reports on found vulnerabilities, on implemented business risks, on incident response and investigations. We look into our monitoring systems, into our products, and verify if the defenders found the activity that's actually related to some of red team sections, and if the red teams are not just trying to somehow cheat and say we did it, but actually they did not.
They did not. Yeah, I see. I see. So you control all the situation with the products installed in the Security Operations Center and verify all the activities.
Yes.
Yeah. So how many reports from the defending and attacking teams did you get at that moment, the last day of the competition?
Okay, for the moment, if I'm right, we got about 1,000 reports from the attacking teams, about 400 reports on the found vulnerabilities were successfully accepted by the jury, and also we got about 200 complete reports on incident investigations. It's so about third of all the attacks conducted were already successfully investigated by defending teams with full evidence track and kill chains.
What time does it take to verify the report average time? Maybe 10 minutes.
It depends. It depends, Roman. It depends on the deepness of the report itself. It depends on the harshness of the attack vector, which was described in the report. So I recall that some reports were approved in about 1 minute because
it was quite straightforward.
It was quite straightforward, quite good described, and all the evidence were attached.
Could be easily found.
Yes. And also, it was such a happy moment that one of my employees was looking at the exact object about which he received the report in this minute. So it was some kind of
a complete match.
Complete
Destiny.
match. And, but
Destiny.
but In some cases, the verification time reached several hours because, yes, because the attackers also were not restricted to try to kick off some defending software and turn off logging. So we required some time to restore the full picture.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So there is rules for sure. There are rules on the standoff, but there are no limits for the attacking teams and defending teams as well. In fact, in terms of the describing the actions and so on. So thank you, Paul. Thank you very much.
You're
thank
welcome.
you, Paul, for your time.
Yeah.
During
Thank you.
such
So,
a
Nat,
hard day.
give
Thank you, Roman.
the word back to you.
Yeah, thank you again for such an immersive interview. It was really cool. And for now, I would like to pass a word to our next speaker. It's our SOC engineer, Oleg. Oleg, are you here? Because we want to hear you and to see your screen to know more about some detection cases. Oleg?
Yeah, hello, Tatiana. So just a second, I switch on. Oh, and Natalia, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So you see me?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you see?
Yes,
No.
I see you, but I don't see your screen.
Yes, just a second. I will switch on it. Just a second. So this. Yeah, you see?
Yeah, right now we see. Please, Oleg, tell us a few words about cases that you're going to show. So what happened?
Yes, so today I want to talk about one realized risk. It was a Ferris wheel speed. I mean the attraction was be hacked and the Ferris wheel speed has been increased.
Rapidly.
And yeah, maybe we talked about it before, but I'm not.
Yeah, Roman showed us
yeah.
and told us a little bit about that incident. Yeah, so let's see how to detect such activity, such hacker activities.
Yeah. So I want to show us the timeline, but not step by step. And the first step, the second step. I want to show us reverse incident when we started and the end of the process, and we finished, and we will finish in the first steps of the attacks.
Okay, sounds interesting.
Yeah, so the first of all, we detect SCADA incidents. You see this, and these incidents shows us that some people or another intruder changed the command on the SCADA system. And after that, the risk was successfully done. Yeah, I mean the intruder was intruder got control under the SCADA, and after that, he can change some settings inside the SCADA. Yeah, you see additional information about this. And I forgot told us that this is the eSIM. eSIM, the anti-tools which can work inside ICS network and understand what's going on inside the network, yeah, and collect some information between communication each other host, yeah. So yeah, we see some source and destination and additional information about the incident. Yeah, we see that Phoenix PLC settings was changed, and after that, as I told, we saw speed up the Ferris vehicle on the digital twin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try to find this case in additional our product. Yeah. And just a second.
Yeah, you closed
And
your
we,
screen.
Huh?
We can't see your screen anymore.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, share it again, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just a second. I try to.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So the first of all, when we want to research this incident, I went to the CM system, and I'm sorry.
I know the.
I try to change location the control panel, and
Yeah, I know the control
after
panel
that
of Zoom
I
is
lose.
tricky.
Yeah. Oh, this. Okay. So the first of all, I went to the CM system and found the additional information about this case. Yeah. So after several times, I found interesting case. I mean, the interesting additional information about this incident, and I tried to create timeline when was happened and what was previously action was done. And I found these events, and I saw some interesting artifacts which can told me that that this file, it is a part of web service execution file, which can has on the additional IP addresses, and it is not this host. I mean, just a second, I try to find this information. Yeah, this is part of the file execution on another host. So this is point told me that we can see interval movement, and we can search these artifacts inside the first of all sandbox, or the second one, the network attack discovery. Yeah, I search this file and I see this is not a malware file. It's okay, because it's part of the web server file execution. Yeah. After that, I switch on the network attack discovery and find out this file inside this traffic. Yeah, you see filters, and it's not big problem for search this file, because previously I found this in the sandbox. Yeah. If we switch on inside, we see the first of all credentials and this file. Okay. Yeah.
Why we see credentials? So they were not encrypted?
Yeah, of course, we see this is the TCP and SMB traffic. Yeah, and it's not encrypted traffic. And of course, we can collect these credentials. And what does it mean for security operation teams? That need to understand why the intruder get these accounts credential, and what's going on previously timeline. Yeah. So after this, I try to search these credentials, and I saw one interesting thing, that in this case I don't have some logs from the web application firewall. Yeah, because today I have some problem with connection, but I can tell you that inside the application firewall, I collect the brute force attack on this target. Yeah, and we understand that the intruder can steal the account credentials and it's possible to later movement on this host and try to steal this file, and after that continue on the next target. Yeah, and previously, so if I saw in the web application firewall, I found the attacked IP address and I found this on the network attack discovery. Yeah, and we see that it was the it was a successful attack on this target, and it was a remote code execution. Yeah, and the end of this kill chain, I tried to search this first step attack. Yeah, and I saw we have a lot of legitimate attempts to connect in this host from a lot of intruders, and I think it is the first point when you need to see that the attacker want to get some destroyed action on your network. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, I forgot the one interesting things. When I researched this case, I saw one of interesting file. Yeah, the intruder tried to get a lot of a lot of equipment which can help to have a full access inside the attacked host. Yeah, and they try to download some exe file, and I searched this on the sandbox, and we understood that it was the downloader. Yeah, and it means that hackers can upload everything in this host, and it's not a big problem to launch the reverse shell and web shell and etc. and control it every time.
Okay. Thank you, Oleg. So Oleg showed us some cases, case of investigation of an attack which hacker implemented during the standoff. So we saw the interfaces of our products, PT iSIM, PT Sandbox, PT NAD, and CM. And so again, I would ask you to ask us questions if you have them, don't be shy. And as you preparing it, I would move to the last two slides. So we are close to the end of the battle. So in just a few hours, the competition will come to the end. And just a few hours more, at 3:30 p.m. GMT time, we will know who is the leader. And you can also know that just joining this platform, standoff365.com, and just to see who won the competition, who is the best hacker team this year. And I would also like to invite you to our next online event. We will hold the webinar on December 15th. And where we will cover all the interesting insights about the standoff. So we will tell you about the most interesting attackers' tactics and tricks they used during the standoff. So we will cover the latest trends in attacking, and we will also, of course, show some detection cases, how to detect them, how to find the attackers, and even more. So please join us. I hope Oleg shared the link with you in the chat. And so if you have any question or any comment, please just feel free to type it into the chat or just use your microphone, because that's all for now.
Okay, great, thank you.
I hear Dennis' voice.
Yes,
thank you, Dennis.
We go okay. Okay.
Hello to Vietnam.
Yeah. I want to ask you, how can I join your event?
Could you just repeat the question closer to the microphone, please, because I can hear just a few words.
Can you speak?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I want to ask, how can I join your event? How can I join your barbecue?
I'm sorry, I hear just the first part, so I hear that you want to join, but which part? Just the standoff?
Because if I want to join the Standoff event, it's a barbecue. How can I join it?
So if you, for example, have some IT security systems and you would like to have a stress test of them, then you just need to write to our Denis Kuznetsov, and he will help you. If you would like to participate as a red team or blue team, you can also just send send an email or just tell Denis, and he will just do the last part.
Okay, thank you.
Gentlemen, do you have any more questions? Because we expect that you would ask a lot.
Can I have your Dennis email?
Yes, definitely. Dennis, could you please share your email?
Yeah, definitely. That will be in the chat in a second.
Thank you, Dennis.
It was easy part.
Yeah, and we will be really happy to see you as participants of the next time. Hi.
Hi, this is Seda from Turkey, Istanbul. So this is very, very interesting for me because I'm in the industrial automation sector for over 25 years. So I was thinking that day will come that somebody will take care of these systems, our industrial automation systems, because as we are applying these automation systems, we cannot do much more except programming them. But the security is, I'm very excited to see this show. So I have many questions in my mind, but I think that we have limited time here. But I just want to ask you that, so these PLCs and these SCADA systems are separate softwares. So which parts the attackers are using to get inside? The SCADA software or the PLCs themselves, the electronic devices? So mostly the top attackers, which way they are using to try? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the nice question. I think Roman will cover your question.
Yeah, thank you. A really good question, because typically SCADA systems and technological networks ought to be separated from the corporate networks, and this situation is quite well recreated in our mock city. So basically, we have the corporate network, all the industrial companies. We have technological networks, which are sometimes separate more or sometimes separate less. So, but anyway, what we see in our real projects on security audit, we see that technological networks typically are more or less have connection to the corporate network. So during the standoff, we try to recreate that situation, and attackers, offensive teams, typically they follow the road, like they break into the corporate network of the industrial companies inside the virtual infrastructure, and then they penetrate into the technological networks. So with SCADA and real equipment, I showed you half an hour before. So, and they typically targeted to both HMIs and PLCs in the same proportion. So we have, as far as I remember, one case. Then we have one particular industrial company with this SCADA, which faces right to the global network, and that particular technological network and equipment targeted right from there. So, but the general route is just like, as I said, the offensive team should penetrate into the corporate network, and then they target it to the real equipment inside the technological team. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Roman.
Yeah, if you have any other questions, just please feel free. We have time.
Excuse me. If I want to build your master field, can you help me build it?
Can you please repeat your question again? Sorry.
If I want to build your master field, can you help me build it?
I've got I've got here quite a noisy background. So if you were able to put the question into the chat, it would be easier for us to understand and answer. Yeah, if it's possible.
Okay. I will send you email after. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really. Yeah, it's really noisy. It's the final day of the cyber battle at the moment, and we've got night show is preparing out there, and we've got a lot of the TV stuff and so on. So it's really noisy, at least for me. Maybe you hear the sound background.
Okay, I have another question if we have some time.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the other questions on my side, in Turkey, Mr. Nihat Dikçe is very helpful to us. So I will send him emails, including my questions. But here, I want to hear that some big plants we can use the product and install directly locally, but there are lots of smaller and medium-sized plants and systems, SCADA systems and PLC systems. So is there a model of business of installing the software in a base, but giving service to the customers from remotely? Because the investment, I think, is not, it's not too small for this product of positive technology security. So some of the customers, especially as medium-sized ones, maybe cannot at the first time make this sort of investment. So
that's a really good point for sure. Security products, if you're talking about the professional security products, is really complicated, and you need a set of people that should be able to use them to the full scale, to a full extent. And if we're talking about the positive technologies, we offer not just the products, but also we offer a set of services that helps to enable security for our customers and support them during the whole life cycle itself. So we can start right from the audits, security audits. We can continue the products rollout in like a test period or piloting something, and we offer particular services with security monitoring. And our guys, like you see, the guys from the security operation of the Standoff is exactly the same guys that provide the services, monitoring services on the base of our product. So basically, it looks like we offer you the products. The customer install the products on site, and then our guys are able to check periodically the health status of the product, check the incidents, report to the customer. And this really decrease the amount of time and efforts needed to products to be useful for the customer.
Okay, thank you very much, Roman.
Yeah, thank you, colleagues. I should switch for another meeting. I've got a really tight schedule. Should you have any questions, please put it in the chat, ask Natalia, and we will get back to you.